So our challenge was a lack of coordination between the NGOs operating, and this is due to the fact that the aid becomes duplicated in some locations, and also this can cause congestions when you're trying to fly in the same things at the same time. So the stakeholders involved in our idea would be mainly the NGOs recognized by the UN, as well as we'd be working closely with the governments to ensure that our policy is implemented. The idea is to create a centralized internal database that could allow us to visualize the humanitarian operations worldwide, as you can see in this map here. And this map would be interactive for the NGOs, and my colleagues will tell you more about it right now.
So why would this be beneficial for the organizations? Well, first they could identify the gaps in humanitarian programming, but they could also see where they're not needed, where there's a duplication of services, competition, and they could learn from where there have been successful programming. Obviously, the benefits for the sector are obvious. It would definitely improve accountability and transparency, but it's most likely to also increase coordination, effectiveness, and the optimization of the use of funds. And why visualize? Well, visualizing information, it compresses it, it makes it more accessible, and allows for quicker and better decision making.
So here we see the process of how the thing is going to actually happen. So there are two methods of actually gathering the information. There's going to be a primary method, primary source, and a secondary source. The primary data will be done by, so first what OCHA does is that it contacts the NGOs and it provides them with a username and password. Based on that, they enter a website where they select their organization and then they log in with their username and password in order to make sure that their credentials are right. And then they go in and they input the following information, which is seen here. So there's the type of service, the location, duration, cluster, and whether they're active or inactive. And then this will be our primary source. The second source will be the HDX, which is the Humanitarian Data Exchange. But this is actually this is a website which is made by OCHA, and it has information about the NGOs. However, it is not very user-friendly, and because it has a lot of Excel sheets, so it's kind of complicated. So we will be getting the information from this HDX website and gathering the most important details. And within the secondary information, there is actually a second source which you can use, which are the UN and NGO reports. From these, we can get also the main details that we want to get, and we combine the most important information we need with the primary sources in order to then collect them all together and analyze them, and then create this visual map which you see over there.
Okay, so I don't really have time to go over how we would visualize this, but I'll just go over some of the risks and some of the solutions that we've come up with. First one is how do we make sure that this is actually enforced and that people actually register in the system? So we believe that OCHA should work with organizations to pressure donors and governments to use the system. So this would also entail close collaboration with the governments and donors themselves. Then there's the risk of the accuracy of data. We would need highly trained professionals to analyze both the data and also do the actual visualization. And finally, there is a resources problem, but we believe that OCHA has the capacity to do this. Still, we would need technical manpower and also a lot of funding to actually implement the program.
Okay.